Welcome to PrepsNet Coach Speak with Fairview Aggies head football coach, George Redding Jr., powered by Campus Traditions. Here's your host, Aubrey Johnson.
Welcome in, Coach.
Hey, how are you?
All right. So 2 Fridays ago, you traveled to Sardis. You came out with a narrow victory, 41-39, real offensive effort. Tell us about it.
It was a tough game, and we knew that going in. BJ does a phenomenal job over there. We knew they had some guys that were going to give us some problems.
Right.
Big, strong, physical. Some guys that were a little taller than us on the edge, but they play such a tough schedule over there. We knew they were going to be extremely battle tested, and that's exactly what we got. We also got senior night. And, one thing I noticed too is every play that Sardis needed to make that night, they made it.
Wow.
And that's what you want out of a good team. So I think that was hats off to them for doing that, but couldn't be more proud of our guys just to continue to fight and find a way to win at the end.
Okay, very good. So last Friday, you really trounced East Limestone 40-10. What happened in that one?
Well, our guys played well, which was good because that was our third week on the road.
Right.
And that can be tough at times.
It can.
And
Sure can.
I've been around long enough to be in that stadium, and that stadium's not easy to play in. It's a tough environment. It's a wonderful stadium, but it's tough to play over there. But our guys come out and they started fast and they played hard, and we were fortunate enough to come away with a win.
All right, very good. So tell us about the players the last 2 weeks that played really hard and did well for you.
Well, even with like some of our woes that we had at Sardis, our guys up front were still working hard.
Right.
We were able to find some success in the run game. Last week at East Limestone, our receivers did a phenomenal job of blocking on the edge, but then also at the same time, they took pride in winning some routes, and we were able to hit some big plays downfield, which was good in the passing game. And, and I think defensively, even though we gave up some points against Sardis, we got ourselves into some situations where it was tough. And even at times, maybe the numbers weren't right for us defensively, but man, our guys just continue to fight. So I love the competitive spirit that our team has. And even when your back's against the wall, things aren't going well, who are you? And I think our guys showed that, we're not going to give up very easy. We're going to get after it. And I was super proud of that.
Okay, very good. So tell us about injuries. Any notable injuries the last couple of weeks?
No, not really, not so much.
That's nice.
It's just kind of one of those deals where you're just trying to nurse yourself back to health each and every weekend. With
Everybody's
some bumps and
banged up.
And everybody does that. So you're not going to be at 100%. But for the most part, injuries are good, and I'm proud of the guys and what they're trying to do and trying to take care of themselves and finding a way to get themselves back on the field. So right now we're blessed.
Okay, so this Thursday you play because Halloween's Friday, so you got to back it up to Thursday. You play Good Hope. Now you guys are in different classes, but I got to believe that kind of a crosstown rivalry is taking shape there. They're a good team, Coach. They're 8-1 on the season. Tell us what you expect to see from the Raiders.
Man, Good Hope's a phenomenal team, phenomenal program, and and Coach Scott does a phenomenal job. Really good friends with a lot of that staff, and I think the world of them. And we've talked about this before. Relationships are very important to me, and how awesome it is to be able to compete, but still be able to have good, healthy relationships. And I feel like we do that. But they're just going to be a tough, hard-nosed football team. They're always going to line up right. You're not tricking anybody. And it's just going to come down to execution.
Sure.
And they always bring everything to the table. And it's a county rivalry, and how awesome that is to be a part of that, for these two communities to get into the same stadium and cheer on their teams. And, it's going to be a phenomenal ball game.
Very good. So then next week, the playoffs begin. Your first opponent is going to be Arab. What do you think you'll see from the Knights?
I don't know a whole lot about them right now, but, just from the past years, they're a tough program. They do things right schematically. They're going to line up right. as well. So, and I fully expect them to have great size, to be solid in the run game. I have heard some good things about them defensively as well.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be just well-rounded. And again, they come from a region that's extremely strong. And a lot of those have played each other really good games, competitive games,
right.
and actually beaten each other, from like number 1 down to number 5. And so it's just such a battle-tested region over there. So it's definitely going to be a very tough opponent.
Okay, so Coach, let's show the staff some love. We've talked about the players a bunch throughout the season. Let's talk about the staff a little bit. Tell us what you think of the staff and how they've handled this season.
Just couldn't be more proud of the staff. We're a small staff, and
right.
It's just the way we're made up, and it is what it is. We've talked about this before. Sometimes we shake hands with 11 or 12 or 13 coaches after the game, and we have 5.
Yeah.
But we're just all of our coaches are so bought in, and they're just committed to how we're built
right.
and what their role is to help the team. Coach Simmons has been with me for 19 years. Coach Baird and Coach Stedman have been here now for 4 years. And Coach Black has now, been here for about 5 years.
Right.
And then he played in our program for 4 years before that. So, they just understand what we've got to do. We ask our guys to play both sides of the ball.
Correct.
And really lay it on the line. And what I love is that our coaches show up every day and they model that same thing. So couldn't be more proud of that staff and the relationships that we have. And I'll just be honest, what an honor it is to be able to work with them.
All right. So, Coach, that's our show. We appreciate your time. And as always, we appreciate yours. Join us again in another couple of weeks. We're going to be talking about playoffs for another Fairview edition of Coach Speak.